Hello, I am writing the things that I'm going to say on the video. I want to mention this tweet. Hello, I am going to record a status update because it's end of February and the last status update I did was like mid-end January. So I'm going to do it once again. Plus I've also been watching some videos by Melissa and I thought they were interesting. So I've been thinking about those as well. Melinda, not Melissa. And yeah, I was thinking of I wanted to read my journal not out loud, just to myself, but yeah, because sometimes I write what I do, but yeah, I think this is going to be a shorter video. I don't think I will ramble that much, but we will see. And let's write job things maybe. So ignored apps and ghosted and pending. Okay. A status update late February 2024. So, well, in case you don't know me, well, I am just some guy on the internet, and I do these videos every month talking about what I have done this month. Well, not every month, sometimes every month, sometimes less often, sometimes more often. And in this case, it was more or less a month since I did the previous one, like a month and a week, month and 2 weeks, more or less. And yeah, I felt like I needed to update me in this kind of, I don't know, journally purpose or something. So, since the last status update, you can see there's like the past one, January 19th, 2024. Today is January 27th. And yeah, since then, I am still working very little. I wake up late and go to bed pretty late. So I'm going to bed at like 4 or 5 a.m. every day and waking up at like 1 p.m. lately. So I barely work, like half an hour at most, or maybe 1 hour at most, many days half an hour. So compared to like 4 months, 5 months ago, I'm working very, very little. And yeah, I think that influences a bit the rest of it, because that means that more of my hours that I am awake late at night, and late at night I do certain activities only, right? So for example, very late at night I don't usually do things like, for example, clean my room. I can't clean my room late at night, so my room gets a little bit more disordered, right? Or I can't, like, I am more tired, so I am less eager to like build things, or yeah, or I am like, I don't tend to edit video, or well, I don't edit a lot of video in general, but those things, I don't know. I don't read, for example. I read less. Sometimes I used to read, but at night as well. But now I don't. I watch more things, right? I tend to watch more things. So I watch more YouTube. I watch TV shows. I watched True Detective, I think. So yes, since let's overview the videos that I have uploaded. Since the 19th of January, I have uploaded some videos. Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched True Detective. I watched the whole Mission Impossible series. So I watched relatively a big amount of movies, I could say, and TV shows, like TV episodes. I tried to get hired. I will talk about this now as well. And I made a couple of videos on a newer, not new style, but on a newer style. So trying to shorter videos instead of longer ones. And they didn't work, but I don't know. I did it. I did them, a couple of them. Then streaming and videos. I've also been streaming, so I think regarding that I have been pretty consistent, right? So I am streaming right now. I've streamed basically every day for like a month, maybe skipping a couple of days, right? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks, and a month. To the job board, the stream, boom, and yeah, more or less about here. It must be. So I have streamed basically every day, which is interesting. I like streaming. Right now, because I am recording, I am not reading the stream, but I can read, for example, that Hanio said, "Lol, I didn't know you do this regularly." Here, regarding my status updates, and yeah, I do them regularly. Not that regularly, but yeah, pretty. I should do a playlist of all of my status updates. But yeah, late January. The previous one was in October. Then the previous one was end of summer. So it's kind of a couple per season maybe. And then some are more monthly. But yeah. Back when I was doing the 100 video series, for example, when I had that in mind, I did them more often because it was a pretty easy video to do in the 100 video series. But now, less. And yeah, I think that's basically more or less what's happened since the last update. And okay, yes. Then another thing that has happened, right, was me trying to get a job. The video that I uploaded here, writing my skill set, was a passive way of doing it, right? It was me trying to get something, like, yeah, a passive way, like putting something out there and receiving incoming. Didn't work. And I did like 3 or 4 more not passive ones. So for example, if you go to my channel, we can see all of these. No one replied to all of these. 4 or 3 or 4, I'm not sure. No one replied. Then to this one, she didn't watch it either. And then another one from January. This one, she replied and all that, but she ghosted me. So I have so far I have been ignored every time, except one time when I haven't been ignored and I have been replied to, but then she didn't show up to the meeting. And then I have one which I sent yesterday that is pending. I have a meeting arranged, so that is good. I got an answer, and yeah, we will see. This one was half passive, half active, because it was not on me. It was, I got tagged on Twitter by it, like by someone who I follow, a mutual. So yeah, it is half passive, half active. But I did record the active application for it. And that is pending, right? So that is how the job thing has evolved since this January 19th. And that one is pre-January 19th, this application, but I talk about it in that video. That one was resolved to ghosted. We will see how it evolves in the future, if I try to get de-ghosted or what. Yo, he was recording. Okay, fuck it. I mean, this is going into the video. Yo, he is recording an update video for himself, so he will probably not read chat right now. Yes, that is true. I fucked it up right now, but oh well. And yes, then next thing, I don't know. After all, if I'm doing the status update live, it makes sense that I keep all this, right? It's still 10 minutes long, so it's not longer than many others. So I think it's reasonable. If I cut this part, it will be like 45 seconds shorter. Not that important. Then I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, here, for example, in my status updates, I always mention something like. Oh yeah, but that is afterwards, right? So now the next thing, right? Things on my mind. So. Oh yeah, okay. Now this one was like something that happened since the last update, I would say. And this is my tree harvester arc. I got into tree harvesters a little bit in this period of time between the past and this current status update, and it was interesting. I I was pretty happy, I guess, right? It was something that moved me, and that got me, like, gave me energy to continue, and that, I don't know, lit up, that made me come alive, as Visa said it, right? I think I feel more alive when I'm pursuing something that interests me like that, right? That catches my attention, and I have the opportunity to pursue it. And I think I pursued it to a satisfactory degree, right? I didn't do everything I set out to do for that, but I think I did enough for me to feel like I did something, I don't know, out of my, not sure if comfort zone or whatever, but something out there, right? Like going the extra mile. Because I watched a lot of videos about it, I got a lot of information, but I also contacted someone on LinkedIn, right? And I got an answer from him. So that was a nice experience. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to reflect, well, not reflect, but to say in my status update that happened. And yeah, I thought that was interesting. Because, for example, in the past video, I say that I am less moody but still sad sometimes, and I don't know. I wouldn't say that the base definition has shifted, right? I would say that is something that's true, right? I still get sad, and I mentioned that I cried sometimes. I will randomly cry sometimes, and that is still true, but I am not as moody. I would agree with that as well. And like, if I was less moody before and I am now less moody than before, right? That means that I am quite less moody compared to the state previous to that, right? So yeah, I wanted also to mention that, right? Even though I have been rejected like 6 times or whatever the fuck, and well, or ghosted or whatever. I don't even know if it counts as a rejection, but yeah, even though I have been ignored a lot of times and all that, I don't know. It hasn't affected me that much, I would say, right? Compared to how it could have affected me. So yeah, that's good, I guess, right? Then, okay, I paused recording. I'm going to check the chat. Cuadro, okay, Hani, he's recording. I already read that. I know worries, cool beans. Lo siento. Nothing to be apologetic for. Don't worry. And Anda says, hi. Hi, Anda. Yes, as Hani said above, I am recording a status update. I usually do, like, every month, more or less. Usually less, right? Usually less than every month. I do these kind of status updates, right? I try to record something to... Yeah, it was inspired by Visa, right? I'm not sure I think if you're here, we probably know who Visa is, because I talk about him all the time, but maybe you didn't, right? And Visa has this channel, and he used to do this update every month, right? He called it April, like a month update, and he did that pretty month update. February update, right? And then he stopped calling them like that, and just, yeah, for example, this one, and this one, yeah, sometimes he stops. He had a kid also, right? So, like, he was busy. But yeah, he does this, and I don't know, I was more or less inspired by that, and copied the title as well, right? I called it status update as well, right? Because I like the concept of a status update. So that's why I do them. And I got reminded of this iteration recently, right? And it was by her, right? She also does these videos, and she talks explicitly about wanting to record these things for the future, right? As kind of a journal, but in video form. Because it is true, right? This is something that both of them say. Both of them say that recording a video is different than reading your thoughts, for example, right? I have written here something, right? But if I, in 5 years, read this, I won't really know what was going on. I talk about myself, right? Because myself, when I read my own things, I can't like be teleported back to when I read them, right? I more or less get a vibe of what was going on, but not always, right? But if I watch myself talk, right, that is pretty different, right? I do get more of that vibe, right? I start to sense more of what was going on. And yeah, if I also say it, right? If the words that I say, well, the words that I say are true, right? So yeah, that's why I do it. In case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, I do this first, and then that is also why I do it. Well, why I do it. Okay. Then I usually do like, yeah, basically the structure is like I compare what, like I literally say what has been going on. Like if stuff has happened, because like lately the problem is that stuff doesn't happen. But for example, the past year stuff happened, right? So I don't know. I met people. I went to events. I thought, well, so in that sense, stuff happened. This lately way less. But so I also make less videos like this because less stuff happens. But I also think about things, right? So it is one part stuff happening, and the other part is me thinking about things. And now I'm going to start with the thinking about things part. Okay, so now some things in my mind that have been in my mind lately. And yeah, I mentioned the curiosity, well, the tree harvester thing before, but I don't know. I want to still talk about how I think about that often, about that anecdote of the tree harvesting thing in particular, and me getting like my attention conquered by the tree harvesting thing, and also about kind of the meta layer above, right? About the fact that curiosity, kind of being able to pursue curiosity, lights me up, and it's interesting, right? And that is something I think about, right? I encounter a lot of things like that, right? So, for example, this channel that I showed a couple of videos ago and on stream a couple of times is interesting, right? Because it kind of like when I wrote a comment like that, a comment in this channel, it makes me tap into that sense of curiosity, right? It's like, what's going on in her life, right? And also in some other videos that I have watched, I see this vibe, right? I see these, people are actually like, I don't know, interested in things and thinking about things and that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I think about that. Then another thing I think about is money. I still think about money all the time, and yeah, I talked about what am I doing about it on the job part, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I am not doing enough, right? And it's a bad feeling, but I don't know what to do with it, right? I don't know what more to do. I don't know. Then Dinesh, yeah, I don't know what more to do because there is a part of me that kind of agrees with Dinesh here, right? I saw this tweet today, and Dinesh he's like, well, the context is that Visa is thinking about his talking points or whatever, and someone asks him about the focus on what you want focus on what you want to see more of, which is something that Visa says all the time, and he says that he actually took it from Dinesh, and yeah, Dinesh talks about it here, right? So he is like worth noting that the hardest part of focus on what you focus on what you want to see more of is knowing what you want to see more of. So really the first thing to focus on is what you should be focusing on the rest of your time. What's the highest order bit in your own life? Epistemology about yourself. And I am here. Like I am still in this stage, right? And like my relationship to money is tied to this whole thing, right? I have some things that I like to tap into, right? For example, the curiosity part, right? Or yeah, for example, I feel like I have already explored too much of what I want to see more of without actually materially doing it, spending money, for example, right? Because I don't have the money to spend on, like, to spend or whatever in those things, right? So I have gotten as far as I can in the thinking about it perspective. In my, like, this is my feeling, like how it feels in my body to be like this. And right now I am feeling bad about money because of this, right? I feel like in order to learn more about myself, I should, like, start getting around in the world and all of this in a more sustainable way, right? Which is basically having money and that kind of thing, right? So that is on my mind lately. Unrelated with the conversation, I like to watch you think. Your face is relaxed and you seem to grasp things from the sky. Yeah, I don't know why I look up when I think, but yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily think if I don't know if I like to watch myself think, but yeah, it is what I talked about that extra aspect of reading versus reading something that you have written yourself versus watching yourself, right? In my case, it's myself. But I also like, for example, I'm not sure if I could have, like, read about Melinda, right? I'm not sure if I hadn't seen the video and if the video was a tweet. I do read relatively often about things on Twitter, for example, and I read Substack articles and all of these things. But to me, the video aspect and the watching someone express themselves is an important part as well. Right? I like it. Well, it's not necessarily that I like it, but I think it's something necessary, right? For me to, yeah, for me to be able to, like, conversate with the ideas, I have to, I don't know, I have to sense that the ideas are real in some way, right? I have a harder time uh, engaging, I don't know, with the full, I don't know, not sure how to say it. I mean, not that hard. Like, I am exaggerating a little bit, right? Because, for example, I just read Dinesh's tweet, right? And I don't know, it was fine. I don't know, I don't wish that this tweet had been a video, for example. But yeah, maybe, for example, the process of him having thought of all this on video would be interesting, right? And I have watched like a conversation that Visa they had with Dinesh, and it was interesting as well, right? I don't know. I like everything in general, right? I like text as well. Yes, there's a very natural aspect of your video. It's an act closer to humanity in a way. Yeah, I think so. Writing can be read in any voice. That's why social media profiles are cool and done in a good way. Yeah. Yeah, you can also read it in your own voice as well. Right? I'm thinking now of what else to add to my status update. I think I want to add some kind of yeah, let's continue. So yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about. And okay, a couple of things that I'm thinking about as well are hobbies. Let me pause. Okay, I want to find a tweet because there is a tweet that I saw recently that was like, I think it is by seconds. Oh, 5 seconds. 5. Twitter search is so fucking bad, I swear. Like I follow this person called Seconds, but I don't know exactly like if the username is like 0 seconds or something like this, right? So bro. And I know I liked the tweet, but I don't know when, right? Maybe I liked the tweet yesterday. Yeah, Twitter search got crazily bad. YouTube search as well. Yeah, I watched a video by the Pro Z guy, right? Pro ZD guy, about YouTube search getting really bad. To me, I don't know. I haven't like when I use it, I find YouTube search to be decent, right? But I don't know. Like for example, if I want to find a channel, I never have trouble finding the channel. Or if I want to find a video within my videos, I don't know. I made the video, so I know more or less like the tags that I have to find out. But Twitter search is really bad for finding people that you know. It's like you have to know the literal first string of words, and you have to know at least like 6 characters to know who is the person. For example, if Steph, I'm confused and I have PH instead of FF in my head, I won't ever find it, right? This tweet that I'm trying to find is by Seconds. I think it's called Seconds, and it's about hobbies basically. Well, I'm going to more or less say what the tweet was about. It's about hobbies like I don't know. It said something like, "Fuck it, let's try to find it that way." Filter follows hobbies. Let's see. More recent. Yes. This tweet. Okay, so I've been thinking about hobbies because of this, right? Well, not only because of this, right? More about this, but since yesterday I thought of this tweet, right? If I could go back in time and tell myself something, Bitcoin aside, right? It would be to use the massive amount of free time that I have before I was married or had kids. I just squandered it. And I am squandering my free time as well, right? I like to do it, but I also, want to stop squandering it as much, right? And he said specifically there's this of like, what would you use it on? And he said that all those hobbies that I pointed on that I would get to one day, right? And yeah, I think I want to do this as well, right? Now that I have time, the problem is that when you have time, people are always telling you something like, get at work, get a job, or something, right? But I don't know. I'll balance those activities, right? And I want to incorporate some of the things that I miss, like, music or painting and those kind of things, right? Things that don't take a lot of money, but that do take time to get better at. And yeah, that's another thing on my mind, basically. Well, YouTube search doesn't allow me to find little viewed videos with specific tags anymore. Before the update, I could find all videos with a specific tag in it, and the research results had an end. Now YouTube gives up after 3 videos and recommends me Mr. Beast type videos, clickbaits. Yeah, that's true. They have now they have a for you written in the search results, which is pretty shitty. Yeah, I guess I rely a lot on the algorithm and way less on searching for stuff. Yeah, they did nerf search, you could say, maybe. And I think that it's bad after all. That is... I've seen stats and they always say themselves that they are like the best search and like the second most used search engine in the world after Google, right? After like Google itself. And I was like, kind of weird that you would nerf your own search engine like this, right? I feel like it was an interesting balance when both kinds of videos coexisted, right? When there were some people who were like really specialized on making search content, like searchable stuff, and people who were specialized on like making algorithmic stuff. Not very nerd friendly anymore, I guess. Yeah, Google search too. Yeah. Google search. The problem with Google search, I think, is that I think that the problem with those is that they are bad. Like search is bad in general because people don't make their shit well searchable, right? People don't make, and the people who make their shit searchable, like people who are specialized in SEO, are trash, right? So if you search things, most of the things are trash because they are made to be trash in purpose to be like SEO optimized or shit like this, right? And then, but that frame, right, like letting people exploit search also helps because like if you are like curious enough and nerd enough, you can get to the bottom of it and find good shit. The problem is that now if they nerf it, right, you get rid of those things, but you also get rid of all the backend, I think. Oh yeah, I never thought about it like that. Yeah, I think in YouTube videos it also happens, right? The people who were like optimizing for search would have like would make shitty videos, right? It's like they would, if you saw a video that was like, I don't know, you're trying to search for the best cupcakes in Madrid or whatever. I'm not sure if people do that, but then the top video would be something like best cupcakes Madrid 2024, best cupcakes, best patisserie, the title would be a mess like that, right? And the video itself would be like some kind of text to speech generated video of like a PowerPoint of like images, right? That's the problem. That so algorithmically, like if you get rid of all that and you say fuck search and you go like let's go only algo, then I don't know, you get rid of that. The problem is that now you can search, and if you, I don't know, and the problem is that search tags is good. I don't know. I think that it is better to be able to find things, right? Even if you find a lot of shit also, and if people who get findable are the shittiest, because you can still scroll pages, but I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I don't know. I don't work for Google or whatever. If they want to hire me, but I'm sure they think about this already. And yeah, I wanted to end the video with something like, hello Will, by the way. I see a snail or something, but I know it's someone saying hi. Okay. I want to end this video by saying something like not giving myself homework, but I don't know, like throwing something to myself in the future, right? More explicitly, right? Because I think what I say now, like all of the things that I have said, for example, the curiosity thing, the job thing, the money thing, right? Like if I watch the video myself, I will be like, oh, if I am still thinking about money, I will be like, yep, still thinking about this, right? Next month. But if I get a job or whatever, and now my main worry is like, fuck, I can't get to the deadline, right? I am worried because of this. Like I will say, oh, I forgot that I was so. But I don't know. I still want to throw myself like an explicit question or something that I could answer myself. If you gaze into the abyss gazes also into you. Perception determines reality. Yeah, I like the abyss sentence. I think I talked about it somewhere. I don't know where. In a video about a podcast episode, I talk about that. I don't know what to ask me, right? I want maybe ask me something like about the job thing, right? How is the job thing going? How is the money going and how is the job thing going? And a bit late to say this about your hypothesis around SEO and search engines. Nah, never too late. I will still be thinking about my things, but but it reminds me of how loud, impulsive people don't have any effort to do, and they get heard. When quiet and thoughtful people need a lot of work to get heard. Yeah, I mean, I think that is a fake problem in a way, right? Like, if I think that quiet and thoughtful people know that the people listening to the loud, impulsive people are also, I don't know, they have bad ears, right? They have bad hearing. And if you are quiet and thoughtful, it's like, yeah, I don't know. There is the frustration, and I understand the frustration as well. But I think that you keep being quiet and thoughtful because you know who is listening, right? You know that if you have, like, if you are quiet and thoughtful and you keep talking and keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, eventually someone will listen, and the person who listens will pay attention. But if you are loud and impulsive, loud and impulsive, loud and impulsive, people will hear you from the beginning, but no one will stay to listen to what you have to say. Right? They will just hear you, like yell back at you, and then go back. Right? No one will actually listen or nothing. That is kind of, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, well, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it's not all like this. Probably, like there are probably exceptions, but I don't know. For example, Taylor Swift, I would say, is an exception. Right? I think Taylor Swift is loud and but thoughtful. Right? I think she gets like, and that's why she's been making music for like since 2008. Right? For like 16 years or something. Since she was 16, now 34 or something. So like 18 years. Because yeah, she was lucky in a way. Right? I guess it's a combination of a lot of things. She was lucky. She worked hard. Blah blah blah. Right? And some people can be like, oh, but I am equally thoughtful. Why can't I get as loud? And yeah, it is frustrating in a way, but I am glad that to see that, for example. Okay, I know. I also know what questions I want to ask myself. Right? I want to ask myself how, like, something about streaming. Right? Am I still streaming in March, like a month from now, March 27th? Am I still streaming? I'd like to think so, right? I don't know. I don't see any reason why I would stop. Like I stopped making 100 videos because I got to number 100, right? So do you need help to find questions or points to talk about? I mean, if you write them, I can always. I need help always about everything. So your 100 video playlist doesn't have 100 videos in it. If I'm not wrong, yeah, you're right. I have made the 100 videos, right? Okay, but for some reason I have forgotten to add 3 of them to the playlist. It has 97. And the problem is that they are not the 3 last ones. They are some other videos in the middle. I will have to do that. Because it looks pretty bad, right? It looks bad to see the 100 video playlist. Me saying that I have finished and it's saying 97. But yeah, and it's also not hard to fix. The problem is that it is a bad interface because the YouTube playlist interface kind of sucks. You like dragging and drop and moving videos is annoying. But yeah, I will fix it. Okay, I'll throw out ideas or questions, hoping it will inspire you. Okay. Let's see. Question to my future self. To my future self. So, job thing. Money. Then hobbies. Okay, let's see the hobbies thing, right? Hobbies. I don't know. I think that this Dinesh highest order bit thing is important as well, right? The problem is that I have not found my highest order bit, I think. Or I don't know. I think, and he also explicitly says this thing. Right? He also explicitly says that the highest order bit thing is impossible to find or something. Not impossible, but hard to find. He says like you can't see the highest order bit. Yeah, the highest order bit is managing psychology. Yeah, I think that I need like some baseline amount of money to manage my psychology, I think. And I think that I have set up my psychology in a bad way. Right? I have set up my own psychology in a way that is like, if I get paid less than what I think I deserve. No, actually, yeah. I have not set myself up in that bad of a way. But I have set it up in a strange way, right? I have to, like, there is a strange alignment I have to stop in. Okay. Okay, 100 shorts would tweak the algorithm, one for a day, I guess, could help with the promo MO. I like, the problem with shorts is that I thought of making 100 shorts and maybe I will do it because now, okay, that's a good idea actually. 100 shorts, like recording a 1 minute short or something, like summing up every video of my 100 videos. I could do that maybe. but I don't like how shorts are incorporated into the channel. That's the problem, right? If I go to channel, yeah, they are kind of, well, she doesn't have shorts. But you know what I mean, right? That they are in this separate tab, but also sometimes it's like sometimes if the short is longer than 1 minute for some reason it shows up here, but it can still be vertical, right? I do have this short. It's funny. I like the short, but I don't know. I thought the idea. The one for a day. Yeah, the problem I don't like the one for a day. Right? I don't like doing things every day. I like giving myself grace, right? But yeah, I may do it. I thought of it and I tried to do one tweet, right? The problem with it is that I have, well, okay, but one per day can be a good thing, right? I can write one short and one tweet per day. That's a good goal, I would say. Maybe I will. The problem is that there are videos that are longer than the time that I stream. But maybe I could set that as a stream goal for like the next 100 days or something. Okay. Next. How do you feel about the environment you live in right now? Art pastimes you'd like to learn or practice and fuel another part of your life? Or to improve the abilities that you already have? Yeah, the art pastimes thing that I like to learn is interesting. Says the guy streaming every day. Lol. Yeah, but I'm not streaming every day. I have missed a couple of days. And I want to have like the permission in my head to allow to not stream some days. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on skimming. Skimming as in text or in general? Answer the damn questions. Hello, Indrek. Up to you, we are all growing and learning. Mandelbrot. Skimming text, I don't know. I think that when I say I read something, sometimes I skim it. I don't know. For example, blog posts. Sometimes I will not finish blog posts because I feel like I can get to the meat quicker or something like this. I don't know. Yes, text. But reading books, I don't think I skim. I don't finish a lot because I don't skim. But when I read books, I tend to read everything. I'm not sure if I do it well, but I tend to like try to do it at least. And I get distracted a lot. But well. And answer the damn questions. Okay, I will answer the damn questions. How do you feel about following your intuition recently? Okay, that is continuing the question to that, right? By the way, I am not answering the questions in case you just got here because I am not like these are questions that I'm trying to throw myself in the future, right? So environment. Okay, the hobbies question is interesting. I like the way you worded it. I don't think I want to ask myself what I would like to learn, but if I have improved of the things that I already have. Why not give an answer now and compare it to the future one? Oh, that's actually a good thing, a good idea. I mean, about the job thing and the money thing, yeah, I talked about. Yeah, I actually didn't answer the questions. This exercise is interesting. Have you ever done it? Yeah, I have done it in. Not sure if exactly, but I do ask myself a lot of questions and answer them. Like that is essentially what my channel is. And the problem is that they get very long, right? I spend a lot of time doing it, right? And I got tired of the videos being so long, right? For example, what I think about doing things, 20 minutes. And this is just talking about doing things, right? Like action or something like this. Then, thinking about my dream life, right? I think about what my dream life would be often, but all of the videos, I have like 4 videos, and the 4 videos are like 1 hour long. Oh, the sending to my future self things. No, I don't think I have done it. The journaling thing, right? The journaling and all that is meant for my future self, but I have never like thought of it in asking a question, or like I haven't done. I think the send a letter to. There are like things like this, right? There are like send email to future you. There are websites that are set up, right, to do that. Write a letter to your future self. But I have never done them. I'm not sure why. Fuck it, let's go to this video. Starting over at 35. Let's see if it's this one. Okay, yeah, in this video, but let's see. Control F, future. Yeah. I recommend this video. Like, if you are here and curious about that, watch this later, the future self thing. She talks about this. And I liked the video a lot, right? She mentions a video about another girl who made a video about, like, you should make YouTube videos or something. And she reads a journal letter from herself, and her journal is formatted in that way, right? It is like a letter for her future self or something like that. And I say here that I have never really vibed with journaling to the future self. I don't relate that much to the thing you said about knowing what your future self will be feeling, right? Because in her journal entry, she says something like, I now know how you will be feeling in the future, right? Like she knows something about herself, about her core self or something that she knows will remain that way in the future, right? She has found that part, and she's like speaking to that, right? And I don't feel that way, right? I have never felt that way about the future. I have never felt like I know that core part of me that is going to remain or something, right? I have never felt like this. So I have never felt like doing this exercise to address like this future self in a way, right? Because I have all the instances I've seen of people addressing their future selves and all that is usually with that kind of vibe, right? With that kind of like talking directly to some kind of essence. And I have never done that. But I liked her way of doing it. Yeah, so watch the video if you're curious. And being giddy for the good part of the movie, she talks about a feeling that was interesting to me, right? She says in this video, reading that journal entry, something like, I am giddy for the good part of the movie, right? That feeling that you get when the movie is about to get good, right? And she feels that about her own life. And I don't know, I found that like an interesting feeling. And that part of that feeling, I do feel it in a sense, right? Even if I don't feel it in the same way that she does, I have a sense that I do. I don't know. You could call it like optimism or something, right? I do think I am in a way optimistic. Even if I am constantly talking about how sad I am or whatever, I am optimistic, I would say. And I don't know. That's something interesting. But I have never done the future self exercise historically because it feels strange, right? But in this way, like answering questions for the future self or like comparing answers, that is interesting. And I think I have not done that. I have done like personality tests, I think, and the personality tests are kind of like always the same questions, so I guess I have done them at several points, but I can't check answers, I would say. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to ask the questions and try to answer them in a concise way. Right? I have 15 minutes until 6 p.m. So yeah, I'll try to make the next part of the video less than 10 minutes long. So, how do you feel about following your intuition lately? The problem is that this is a hard question, right? How do you feel about following your intuition lately? How do you feel about the environment you live in right now? And Leah, let's word this in the way that you did. How do you feel about your money situation right now, or something like that? About your money situation right now, and job related. How do you feel about your job, employment situation, activities? I don't know. Daily activities right now. These are good questions, actually. These are very good questions. Art pursuits and the environment. How do you feel about the environment? Not at all. Environment is much more than monetary focus. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I meant all the questions, by the way, not just mine. Like especially Anda's questions. Okay, so, oops. Boom. And now I am going to, like, in case there are someone new or something, because for example, Indrek, I'm not sure when you started watching. So I'm not sure if you know what I'm doing. I'm recording a video about like a status update. I do these status updates, so I am recording that. And right now I have paused, but I will continue. So yeah, now I am going to answer these questions for that. By the way, Indrek, I always ask these things. I ask, where are you from? And like, what car do you have, or like, what do you drive, and all the rest. I ask these things usually. I think Anda is from France, if I recall correctly, but I'm not sure. I forget. It is a loaded question, though. I would think environment is where you spend the most part of your time, your job, your house, your friends, family. I don't know. I don't mind loaded questions, right? And yeah, I'm from Estonia and I don't drive a car. ST. Nice. I watched a YouTuber from Estonia. Like, she's married to, well, not married yet, but she's like the girlfriend of an Argentinian guy. So they make videos in Spanish, but they are from Estonia. Interesting place. I may, if the job thing goes right, I may have to register a company in Estonia. Have I asked you what car do you drive, or if you drive a car, Anda? Or a bike, like what transportation medium? Yeah, in Estonia I've seen that you have like good public transportation. So. Okay, I'm going to record this. Why not ask for a hobby as well? About you. I don't know. I ask for, because I am selfish, right? I ask for what I care about. I care about geography, right? I care about location in the planet, and I care about cars. So, but I mean, you can tell me about your hobbies as well. Right? What are your hobbies? Also because YouTube, like this YouTube comment section, like this chat is so short, like you can't answer in detail, right? So for example, if you like, I don't know, if you have hobbies that are like easily described, for example, reading in general, right? But if you like reading something specific, but if you don't like reading everything, but you like reading something specific, YouTube chat doesn't think. I have entered tramways and buses in Bordeaux. Interesting. Burdeos está abajo, ¿no? It's below. Southwest. Not that far away from Spain then. Well, I am a nerd. I solve Rubik's Cube and I play pool. The nerd web takes over the world. Pool, it's like billiards, right? I'm pretty bad at pool. I'm also a skydiver. Holy fuck. I have skydiving in my list of things that I want to do one day. I tweeted about it lately. Okay, this is handy for my own Twitter. Yep, I did go to Spain with my girlfriend to go to Portaventura. Went to Vilanova y la Geltrú. I went to Portaventura last summer, I think. It was interesting. I liked the roller coasters and all that. Shambhala. I have a cousin in Toulouse, which is, I guess, in the other side of, I know, it's in the middle of France, but also in the south, right? My cousin is working there, if I recall correctly. Okay. Toulouse, very beautiful. Do you ever go there? No, I've never been to the south of France. I've only been to Switzerland, like to the border of Switzerland and France. I have never actually been to France, like purposely. I've been to like Ferney-Voltaire, which is kind of the town that is basically by Geneva. So I've been there, and I think I've been to like the French part of the Alps. I think is Chamonix, France, Chamonix, or is it Switzerland? Yeah, it's France. So I've been there, but I haven't been to France. I'd like to go to like the Pyrenees region, to that part. I'd like to cross the Pyrenees. Beautiful station. Okay, back to video. 53. Okay, so this is a new section in my journal, my status updates, and these questions for my future self, and I'm going to compare. Like my answers right now, I'm going to answer a little bit and then compare with the answers that I give in the next video. And the next video, like the task is to answer these questions and maybe to either say these new ones again or to give new questions. I don't know. We will see what happens. So, how do you feel about your money situation right now? Bad. I don't have money and this is pretty annoying. I would like to have more. And yeah, I think about it often and I feel very limited by that. How do you feel about your job, employment situation, daily activities right now? I actually like more or less what I do, but the money limitations come in, so I have I am limited in what I do by the money part. So for example, I like streaming, I like making videos, I like watching shit on YouTube. The problem is that I watch too much and do very little. So I would like to watch a bit less and do more things related to the things I watch. So for example, if I watch a travel video, I would like to also travel. Or if I watch a video about tree harvesters and contact a guy about tree harvesters or whatever, I would like to be able to be like, okay, let's go somewhere, like, I don't know, let's go to the university and learn about these books or something like this, and eat in Madrid, the city, or whatever. I don't know. So to be able to have like expenses, to be able to like expense money like this. I don't know. So I like my activities, but I would like to give a little bit of a spice, right? I'd like to spend less time on the computer and more time doing things, or like recording things outside, or seeing things. I don't know, that kind of thing. Hobbies. Art pastimes you'd like to learn or practice. This is handy for this, and I have a list of things that I want to do. I want to take get a motorcycle license and many more licenses. I want to learn more languages, Japanese, German, some others, but my way, aka privately tutored. I want to keep learning piano and maybe composition a little bit, and maybe and continue improving guitar, I would say. Dancing. I have 2 or 3 styles in mind that I would like to learn to do. Singing, especially dubbing, modulation related. 3D modeling. I'd like to learn 3D modeling. I'm not sure. And the purpose for 3D modeling would be to make videos as well, right? To make videos related not to 3D modeling, but to incorporate 3D things into the video making component. For example, if I record a car, I would like to be able to get the 3D model of an engine and to superpose it in the car so that it looks kind of transparent or something. Right? I would like to be able to do these things a little bit. I'd also like to take a second crack at math, maybe more math this time, proofs and that type of shit, but this is not a recent concern. I'm not sure if these are classes, but posture, hair care, these are all contingent on money as well. Climbing, I would like to climb again. Bouldering, I have only bouldered, I have never climbed, and I would like to both climb and also keep like boulder again. Parachuting, see I mentioned parachuting here. I want a fuck ton of licenses. I want to get every license basically. This is a project I have. I'm going to start soon. Well, not soon. Well, maybe soon. And I would also like to take painting back again, like this kind of traditional Chinese painting. I know already some of it, but I would like to get back to speed again on this. Make time for this, I would say. To fuel another part of your life or to improve the abilities you already have. Yeah. I think that some of these I mentioned, I would like to fuel some other parts. For example, the motorcycle license, I think I need something like this. I need something physical in the real world, that connects me to the road and that lets me, I don't know, experience the world in a different way, right? And to improve the things that I already have, I would like to improve languages, music, and basically those are, I think, the main things in my mind. I also have coding in mind, but like I'm not sure what the goal for that would be, right? I don't have like my will to build things. Coding is not that present right now. How do you feel about the environment you live in right now? In case you don't know, this is my room. So, it's not like I don't know, it is a pretty messy environment, right? And it is not an environment that leads me to be like, I can do this and move, right? Or I can experience other places freely. And it's also not an environment that makes me think like, this is, I know where things are here, right? I have a lot of things, but I don't know where they are, right? I don't know how to tap into them. And I don't feel like I have them organized in a way, right? I'm not an organization freak, and I like I like having things, right? I don't want to get rid of things. I don't want to declutter in that way. I want to keep all the things that I have, but in a way that is more accessible to me and that inspires me and all this, right? And that I can, in a way that the things that I have around me are more accessible to me and don't feel like that I have to look for them in that fucking pile of trash or that all this, right? And how do you feel about following your intuition recently? I don't know. This question, I'm not sure why I put it in because it's a hard question. And I don't know. I feel like, for example, for the job thing and for the money thing and all of those things, I think that I am following my intuition too much, maybe, and I am doing too little like standard procedure type things, right? I think that I am going too much on intuition, but I don't know. I think it will pay off. I think it will pay off. I think I am right. I think my intuition is right in that sense. And in other ways, and then there are other aspects where I think my intuition is probably failing me or something. For example, I have not talked in this whole status update. I have not talked about like romantic things or something like this, or social things, and those are probably the places where my intuition fails me the most, or something, or where I am most hindered, or something. So these are some questions. Let me see if I can find more questions. Okay, I saw that Indrek wrote something like here. What really makes me happy and how is my health? Okay, those are interesting questions as well. Who really makes me happy? What really makes me happy? Holy fuck, those are interesting questions as well. What really makes me happy? Who really makes me happy and how is my health? Fuck. Well, I can write. I have keys. How is my health? Okay, so I added 3 more questions. What really makes me happy? Who really makes me what really makes me happy? And I think that the answer that I could get from this video, like if I had to sum this video up in one word or a couple of words, it would be like curiosity and like 2 things actually: following curiosity and exploring things that make me curious or whatever, and feeling connected to the world in a way, right? So, for example, streaming feels me connected to the world, right? Seeing people talk here makes me feel connected to the world in a way, and following curiosity in a way that contacts other people and all that makes me feel connected to the world. So I like that. I would say that is what really makes me happy right now. Who really makes me happy? I don't know. This is a hard question, probably. I think my friends, the friends that I hang out with on Saturdays, because lately I'm only hanging out on Saturdays, make me happy. A friend I play PUBG with that is going to come soon makes me happy as well. I think random people online make me happy in a way. I don't know. Maybe it's a weird answer, but it is true. And sometimes my parents make me happy as well. And people on Twitter make me happy as well. Some people on Twitter, sometimes. So maybe not answer to the really question, but I don't know. An answer. And then, how is my health? I don't know. I feel like I am walking a lot less lately, so I feel like my health is somewhat getting worse. I am noticing that my back is pretty bad all the time, and I have pretty bad posture. But I don't know. Overall, I am in decent health, I would say. But I should probably watch that and maybe get a little bit more active and watch the back thing And I feel like when I get up too quickly, I get like, I don't know how to say it in English, ido. Like, ooh, a little bit like that. Right? I don't like actually lose consciousness, but I feel that I start losing consciousness. Like if I get up really quickly. So yeah, that is something that concerns me. And yeah, that's basically it. I think these are all the questions that I have going to leave for my future self. And yeah, goodbye. Okay, I have finished recording the video. This is what I will upload at night. 3D modeling idea is very interesting. I'm curious how your videos would be presented and edited at this stage. Yeah, that is a very specific thing for a project, for a car, for if I make videos about cars. Right? Well, no, for when I make videos about cars. I will eventually make videos about cars. The problem is that I don't know. I never feel like my voice in the car world is something worth hearing, right? And I'm not sure where to start or all those things. So I want to find, I don't know. I have a couple of ideas that are more accessible, right? I thought of recording my dad's car, and I think I can cook something there, but I'm not sure. Your goal is to get into car world. I mean, it depends on what you mean by goal. Yeah, I've always wanted, right? But I'm not sure if it's like a goal or what, right? But yeah, it is something that I would have liked to do. I'm logging off. Have a good one. Yeah, I'm ending stream soon as well. Lightheaded. Yeah, it was lightheaded, by the way. If it looks stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. I wasn't meant in a bad way. I also think it doesn't matter as long as it gets the job done. Yeah, I also think that. I'm not sure what the context of that was. I think it was talking about the job search thing, what I am doing to job search. Why not start by finding out who's the best mechanic around and make friends? Yeah, I have an answer for that. And the answer is called Why I Don't Like the Spanish Car Scene. And I made a video here. Video scene. Yeah, I know. In this car video, in here I called about the Spanish car scene here, and I will link it here. Boom. $159. I probably talk about the Spanish car scene here, and it is not. I don't know. I feel very disconnected in general to Spanish people, like in general, right? And in the car scene, in particular, for reasons that are common to other things and more specific to the Spanish car scene in particular, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad idea. The finding out who's the best mechanic around. I think that is a good idea in general, just to find who's the best mechanic around this for when your car breaks, because that is a problem. But yeah. Yeah, I think that the problem is that, short answer right now, the problem with the who's the best mechanic around is that it doesn't, like there is no such thing as the best mechanic around, right? The best mechanic around depends on how much of a friend you are from a given mechanic, right? So if you are close friends with your mechanic or something, right, like that, right, he will maybe go out a little bit of his way to treat you in a good way, right? But there is no such thing as, right? So the best mechanic is the best mechanic for his friends, but for the rest of people, it's just a regular mechanic, right? I think that is my problem, like my subjective problem with that, right? I think that people are not serious in that way, right? I think people don't have this will to be the best mechanic. No, they have the will to be a mechanic and then For the friends, maybe they give it, they make the favor, right? And not always, right? This is kind of the way I see it. Either way, if you let them talk, they will give you so much knowledge. Yeah, that is probably true. But then the thing is that, like, why would they talk to me, right? If I don't have anything to give back. I would say the best mechanic is the one who has clients for further away. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and yeah, for example, I do like, if I think of good mechanics or whatever, I would think of something like a specialized Porsche shop, right? I bet that guy knows a lot of things, or like knows specific things that are very interesting, right? Or has stories to tell, these kind of things. The problem is, like, why would he talk to me, right? That is the problem then. But yeah, I think I'm going to close the stream. My throat hurts. Thank you for being here. Hanyo, as always. Indrek, and Anda before, but he left. They would talk to you because it's the field that it's really interesting to him, and if you show a little curiosity, everyone likes sharing their fields. I don't know. I think that, but then I'm not sure, right? But yeah, it is a way. I definitely think that there is a way that is possible. But yeah, bye. I'm not going to, but I could talk about skydiving forever. See, I'm not going to, but I could. One day, if you want, we can talk skydiving. I will ask you questions about skydiving if you're here. Especially about like if there is like a skydiving license. Is there one? Or can you just like do it? Because if there is a skydiving license, I want to add that to my licenses thing. But yeah, that is thing for tomorrow. So thank you for being here, and bye. There is a license. Nice. I will have to look into that into several countries as well, because maybe in mine, I think they would probably be. But yeah.